in today's session of Divorce Court.
I, Jennifer, take you, Don, to be my wedded husband.
With these words, Jennifer Azevedo Black says she hitched herself to a no-good womanizer.
He was with his mistress the night before we got married. He's been with over 43 different women during our marriage.
Mr. Black, 43 women? How? You don't have enough time.
But Don says she made him who he is.
I felt like I was the hoe and she was the pimp.
Now you hurry up and explain that one.
I was a person who really didn't have all that much. She saw that, okay? So she provided these things, just like a pimp would provide for a hoe.
And you really believe this, huh?
Straight up.
Why you get your butt out and go buy it yourself?
The truth hurts, Don.
Today, Jennifer Azevedo Black faces Don Black in this session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Don Black versus Jennifer Azevedo Black. Mrs. Black, I'm advised that after a year and a half of marriage, you're ready for a divorce. And I simply don't understand why in a year and a half.
Basically, Your Honor, I've been with this man for over 7 years. I dedicated my life to him. I've bared his child. After 5 years of being in a relationship with him, I decided to do the right thing, which is what I thought it was, and marry him. And he never took our relationship seriously. He's been with over 43 different women before and during our marriage. You've admitted that.
So what are you talking about? After 5 years of being with him, you decided to do the right thing and marry him?
Correct.
You mean you lived with him for 5 years?
Correct. And I had his daughter, and I did my best to have our life together, and I thought it was right for us to get married and to do things the right way.
And during those 5 years, he was a faithful, dedicated, loyal man to you? Is that what you're telling me?
Not necessarily. He wasn't always faithful to me during those 5 years, but he never admitted to me that he was not just with just me. He had female friends, and I was young. I was 17 when I met him. My father died.
17?
Yes, my father died when I was 14. He was my first love, my first boyfriend, my first everything. I just tried my hardest.
So you just did absolutely no evaluation of this man? You just fell into him? Whatever he said to you, you accepted? Is that what you're telling me?
Basically, yeah.
Mr. Black, 43 women?
No,
How? You don't have enough time. How old are you?
No.
You said that.
I said that. I told her that, but the actual facts of the matter is that I was with several different women, mostly friends, and basically it was because...
With several different women, mostly friends?
Yeah, mostly friends.
So what do you mean by with them, mostly friends?
Meaning, we would have conversations, we would go kick it, we would, do whatever, okay?
And none of these conversations led to any sexual encounters?
Yes, that did happen. That did occur on a few occasions.
Several women that were friends. You just having these friendly sexual encounters. That's what it's all about.
No, not really. I just, I had some women that were just friends, and that I was completely platonic with, and then I had women that, I kind of messed around with.
Kind of messed around, and then you had her.
No,
now, what was she called?
Not really. I never really had her. That's the thing that I look at.
5 years you were together?
Never really had her.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I felt like I was the hoe and she was the pimp. Okay.
Wait a minute. Explain that one, Mr. Hoe and Mr. Pimp.
I'm about to explain it. This is how it was.
You felt like you were the whore and she was the pimp.
Straight up. Okay.
You're older than she is.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Now you hurry up and explain that one.
I was a weak person. I was going through some issues, whatever. She knew what I was going through in terms of not having a place to stay or what have you with the car or anything like that. Okay?
I'd like to point out that you don't have any of those things now ever since I left you.
That's fine. You can point that out all you want.
No car,
Working
no
on
home.
it. This is the thing, though. The pimp hoe situation has to do with this, okay? I was a person who really didn't have all that much. She saw that, okay? So she provided these things, just like a pimp would provide for a hoe. What I end up doing, okay, is throughout this relationship, okay, I never felt appreciated, okay? How can I appreciate what she's doing for me if every time she does something for me, it's like you wouldn't have this without me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be anything.
The truth hurts,
when you leave me, you still won't have anything. But it's not the truth.
Are you really? And you really believe this, huh?
I definitely believe
You convinced yourself, huh?
I definitely believe that I was in a situation where, my attitude towards her...
You were just trapped in this situation and you couldn't get out.
I don't call it trapped. I was honest with her about a lot of different occasions, but she was on her own focus. She was on her own mission.
So if she's buying things for you and you really couldn't appreciate it because she reminds you of the fact that you wouldn't have it, if she didn't buy it, why you get your butt out and go buy it yourself?
Oh, well, I had to work toward those things, okay? But when you have a person, I had to work toward those things.
What do you mean by you had to work toward those things?
I had to work toward those things. If I'm going to accomplish...
Did you get out and go buy it yourself?
Some of the time I did, some of the time I did not.
Did you ever reject what she bought you?
No,
No.
but it was all monetary things. There were things that, you know, like
Well,
clothing.
yeah.
There were the roof situation. Her father passed away. She came into some money. I was like a breath of fresh air
Luckily.
to her, and so she basically put me up. Okay, throughout that
So
period
you
of time,
became
it
a
actually
kept
drained
man,
me.
right?
No,
Yes,
he
ma'am.
wasn't kept.
And you didn't have a problem being that kept man either, did you?
Yes, I did have a problem with it. That's why I was doing what I was doing.
So that's why you were running around with Sally, Jerry, and Mary.
Absolutely, because with
Because
Sally,
you-
Jerry, and Mary, they listened to me. They got to know me.
Well, you need to come off that.
Hey, I'm telling the truth.
She got to know a person
That was
who
very
saw
weak.
somebody who was willing to give him everything that he needed. A roof over his head, and he said, I'll go for it. A car, and he said, I'll go for it. Clothing on his back, and you said, okay, I'll accept that too. And I don't even have to work to get it.
But I did have to work.
That's what she saw.
What
Your
was she
Honor,
saw?
he did not hardly have to work. He had little temp jobs that he would take care of there.
And that's
because
the
of his
point
late
right
night
there.
excursions
Little temp jobs.
with all
You hear
these
that?
women.
Little temp jobs.
What do you
It
mean?
would
Yeah,
take-
I heard it, little temp jobs.
Okay, now all
Here
these
and
jobs that
there.
I had, okay,
Yeah.
to me they meant something. Every job that I went to, I had to gain experience, I had to learn whatever I had to do, and a lot of people are not able to do that. You know what you're going to do every day when you wake up because you have a permanent position. I didn't have
Your
that.
Honor, the
Nothing
reason
is ever
why
permanent.
nothing was
but the
ever
fact of the
permanent
matter
with him is because he could not keep a job because he would be out with these women late at night and then call in sick the next morning.
That's
or
not
he
true.
would be making phone calls.
That's not
or
true.
he would have relationships with women on the job.
Where did you find all this out, Ms.
From
Black?
him. He has
You found it out later.
later,
After
yes.
the fact.
After the fact, correct. And
6
I have-
years later.
This is not true.
Yes.
She found out
Yes.
during
I
the
also have-
relationship. I explained to her, listen, we shouldn't even try to do this.
Then
Okay,
why
I have
would we get
issues.
married, Don?
Yeah, then
Okay.
why did you get married? If you explained
Because
it
when
so.
she got the whole marriage thing in her head, matter of fact, she asked me. When she got it all in her head, she was gung ho.
Well, he didn't take it seriously. He was with his mistress the night before we got married anyway.
you
It was
know
never
that?
a
No, I
mistress.
found that after we were married.
I've never had a mistress.
Oh, it's
okay,
not a
I was
mistress.
messing with. How am I gonna have a mistress
you
when
have
I
a
was
mistress
messing
and
with
he's
so
not
many
married?
women?
No,
How's she
the
gonna
night
put it
before
all
we
on
got
one?
married, he was
She put
with
it all on
the
one
woman
woman,
that he's with
and I
right
was
now and
messing
just
with
had a
several
child
different
with a
women.
week ago.
Wait a
Several
minute.
different
Wait,
women.
hold it. You said a mouthful.
Yes.
The night you got married.
The night we got married.
Night before you got married. He was with another woman.
This is
Correct.
true.
He's still with this woman.
This is
Correct.
true.
And she now has your child.
But what
Yes.
about the 19
Did you say
or
this is true?
This is true. What about
come
all the
on now.
other women
Mr.
that I was
Black.
with before that? You can't pinpoint one
Oh,
woman.
yes,
I was with several women.
there's a very
This is the
different
woman that got
variety
my
of all
heart. This is the
different
woman
women.
that I
Which
chose
one
to
got
be
your
with.
heart?
The one that I'm with now.
And when did she get your heart?
She got my heart. Well, first of all, you know, she has listening skill problems. She does a lot of talking, but she doesn't listen, okay?
Well, if it's not,
I was a person
there's
that
And
I
you
was
have a
already...
using
Listen
skill
to.
problem. You do a lot of talking and using, and you don't know what to do about it. You got
You
a
use
using
a lot of big
problem.
words and you don't know what they mean.
I know exactly what they mean. The thing is during the period of time that we were together, I was already doing bad. I was already weak, okay? You can't take that person,
Weak.
okay, and buy them these things and think that they're going to change. Throughout the relationship, I was honest with her. I was open with her about my issues. I addressed
Not
those
with other
issues.
women.
She
You
hung
like
in
to
there.
hang out with women, and you like to try to see how many you can get.
No, nothing like that whatsoever. It was the camaraderie. It was being able to speak with someone and have them give me their opinion, and I'm able to give my
Now,
opinion.
Mr. Black, that all sounds good. But
It's all the truth.
it didn't take you 6.5 years
I had
of
a
being
child.
with this woman
I had a
to
child.
figure that out.
I had a child. I was trying to be there for my daughter. I know a lot of friends that didn't work
come
it
on,
out
Mr.
with
Black,
their
you just told
with
me
their
that you never
significant
liked her
others.
and you were running around with other women.
I didn't
You
say I
kept
never
telling
liked her.
You
I
said
didn't say I never liked her. I just said that we didn't have a good relationship from the jump.
When divorce court returns, Jennifer testifies about the shock of finding out Don was living a secret life.
He had a child that I didn't even know about.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Hold on a second. Let me hear the lie, please.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce Court is back as the judge responds to Jennifer's testimony about trying to buy Don's affection.
What about the gentleman that was the best man of our wedding that you're currently with? See, that's
No.
another issue.
Don, that's
What
not
about-
even
wait-
true.
wait a minute.
I am not even with him at all. I am single, Your
she was
Honor.
with the
point that I
best
need
man.
to make.
Hold on, Miss Black.
Okay.
What I need to make a point. It seems to me that he has some validity in what he was saying. This part is right. If you're giving a man or a woman everything that they want, and it's an adult person, they don't have to do anything to get it. They're disrespecting you. They're using you. They're playing around. They're having other people. It's not a real good, solid relationship. But yet you keep buying and you keep giving. You know, after a while, he's right. They will accept it and say, okay, you want to do that? I'll go for it. And it's not weak. It's when there's a person who has no respect for himself.
Absolutely.
Or herself.
Absolutely.
Right about that. But that's just an excuse.
No,
really.
it's not an excuse. The truth is I didn't have any respect for myself. And
now
therefore,
you got it?
I'm working on it. You know,
And
it's a
then
day-to-day process.
On the other hand, you were trying to buy his affection.
Yeah, I see
his
that
love,
now.
his relationship with you, and you were trying to buy it with money, with things. Doesn't work.
Never.
If it doesn't come from within, it's not gonna happen.
And it never came from within.
And you found that out the hard way, right?
It came from here.
I did.
Here.
I've even found that out even more hard because Don's promiscuous. Evidently, he's had a child.
That's a nice way to put it.
Correct. He had a child that I didn't even know about.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Me and Don both filed our tax return in 1998, and I was to get $481 back. And due to the fact that Don has a child who's approximately 7 years old.
But that's not true. In 1991, I was with this young lady. I explained to her the whole situation, the whole scenario.
I didn't even know you were in 1991.
I didn't even get any information
That's
about
not
this
true.
child until 1998. Okay, when I
Correct.
started getting the information, I brought it to her attention. Hey, I'm starting to get child
Actually, it was
support
brought
papers
to my
and
attention.
Let him
everything.
finish, please.
I brought it to her attention. Hey, listen, I'm starting to get information. We get the mail at the home, so she knows what mail I get. She's very nosy, so she made sure that she looked at the mail
No, she
anyway.
does what a wife is supposed to do,
Absolutely.
and what people tend to do when they live in the same household.
Absolutely.
She has a right to look at the mail when it comes there.
So she looked in the mail and she saw that there was a child, okay, and that they were going to garnish my
Child support
wages.
notification, right?
Absolutely. They was going to garnish my wages for this child, okay? I didn't act on it. I acted ignorant. I didn't act on it, okay? I didn't
You
think
make
that...
a lot of excuses for your irresponsibility.
No, I'm just saying I didn't act on it.
I think you've taken a couple
okay?
of psychology courses and you know how to explain this stuff away, huh?
No psychology at all. I'm just telling the truth. I didn't act on these issues, and therefore they acted on me. Okay, I get my check garnished. We were supposed to get some money back last year. It didn't happen because they put a lien on the money.
So you got a tax refund
Yes, ma'am.
intercepted
I was expecting-
because
Yes,
of child support
Yes, ma'am.
for another child.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not your wife's child.
Absolutely. That
and
is true.
so your tax refund, and who was the working person?
Me.
Both of us.
He made approximately $10,000, and I made approximately $36,000 for that
How
year.
are you
that's
buying
not
this man
true.
all these cards and doing
That's
all this
not
stuff
true.
I
for him
have the
at such a young
tax
age?
return right here. I'm a hard worker, Your Honor. I've worked ever since I was 14 years old. My father passed away when I was 14, and I was entitled to a trust fund. And
Oh, you have. So you were living off your father's trust fund.
There you
I
go.
was, but I was also working.
I don't think your father left his trust fund for you to support some
I don't
overgrown
either.
man. Do you think
That's
so?
true. That's
No,
so-
and I
that's
regret
very
that,
true.
to be honest with you.
And she regrets
And is there
it.
anything left? I hope you haven't spent it all on him.
No, not all of it.
Good. And he did you a favor by knowing that he had these other women and telling you. Something in the paper says he told you at an early, like shortly after the marriage, that
right.
he had
2
been
months
sleeping
after
with
the
somebody
marriage.
else so you would leave him.
He
Did he tell you that?
admitted, no, he admitted that he had slept with his mistress, and
She
I
keeps
never
calling
lived with
her
him
a
again.
mistress.
I took my stuff when he left. Well, you don't want me to use her name. When I left, once he told me, he admitted that he had slept with her, I was gone. I've
But
never
I
lived
had
with
been
him since.
admitted stuff all
was
throughout the
October
Why didn't you
relationship.
just leave then?
Because
I know why you didn't leave. Things were free.
No.
That would have been foolish for you to leave. It wouldn't have been in your best interest.
No, with all these women, I could have stayed with them. That wasn't the case.
Then why aren't you with them now,
I was really
Mr.
trying to think about
aren't you with them
the
now?
fact that I had this daughter, okay, and
thinking about you had this daughter, what were you thinking about her?
I was thinking about I need to be around my daughter.
I need to
okay?
teach my daughter how
He's seen
to
his
take
daughter
care of a
once
man who does nothing and how to buy clothes
Does
for
nothing.
him and who
Are you saying that I wasn't doing anything based on what she's saying?
It's
I
right
did
here.
do what I had to do. I
What he
did
did.
work. I did
me see.
provide. Okay, yeah, take a look
She
at it.
said that she bought everything for you.
You
No,
even admitted
she bought
that I did.
clothes. She provided a roof, you know, but she couldn't do any of that without me. Her credit is washed. My credit was
I wonder
decent at the
why.
time. Okay.
And so the $481 tax refund was intercepted
Yes, ma'am.
for his back child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
And now you're saying I want it back.
I want it back. I should have gotten it from the get-go because I worked so much, but I didn't get anything, and I have nothing to do with this child that he had had. I didn't even have knowledge of it.
You
What-
did
what
have
do you say
knowledge
about
of it.
that?
All I have to say about it is the $481, I don't have a problem with that. We can split it because we were supposed to split the money in the first place.
You didn't
okay?
earn split
She
what
did
money?
know the money that you're talking about,
tax
the 41,
refund?
the tax refund.
Because
we were supposed
because
to
you
split,
were married?
Yes, we were supposed to split that based on the marriage.
What year did you marry?
We married in
month?
98,
What
in
month?
July.
July of
July
98.
98, okay?
And I left
So
October of
for
98.
5 months you were married?
Yes,
3
ma'am.
months, really.
Well, you're still married.
Yes, ma'am.
So 5 months of 98 you were married?
From
Because
July.
it's 12 months in a year.
Yeah, I left in October.
Okay, but you were still married.
Yeah, we were still
So
married.
you leaving
correct.
had nothing to do with the fact that we were still married?
But she's not responsible for the child support for a child that's not hers.
No, ma'am, she isn't. I'm responsible for that, but at the same token, we were married, so that's why the money was supposed to be split.
Oh, you know,
when
you
we
think you know a
received the
little law
tax.
now.
Yeah, now
Well,
you
I was just, you know, she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. So I thought that the best thing for me to do is to get out of the relationship, let her know what's going on, and so I've taken those steps. Yes, I've been struggling and going through it while I've
So
taken
you
those
left
steps.
the relationship,
No,
not Mrs.
I
Black?
left him, and you know that.
Oh my
I
goodness!
left you.
If
You
it
admitted
wasn't
that
for
you
me
slept with her and
admitting,
I left.
if it wasn't for me being
Oh,
man enough to admit some of the
good.
things that I went through, okay?
Wow, Don.
She would have
great.
never left. Okay.
I left, though.
The reason why she
He
did
wants a lot of
leave
credit
is because she
for
was
what he
dating
did.
someone
He's the
else.
one
That's the
who
only
said
reason why
all
she
that.
left.
Let me ask you something now.
She's the type of person that she
Are
needs
you
to have
still
somebody.
taking care of yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you living with somebody else that's taking care of you?
No, I'm taking care of myself. I could have did that. I could have easily just went on with another woman and just picked up
Your
where I
Honor,
left
he was
off.
living
Wait a
with the
minute, you're still
mistress.
talking about another woman. I thought
I'm
you
just
were
saying
taking
that's
care
what
of
I could have
yourself.
done. That's what I'm
For the
working. That's
past
what I'm
month,
doing.
because you got evicted from your apartment
Evicted?
with your mistress
No, I
right
didn't
now.
get evicted from my
She
apartment.
can't take care of you.
Let me
Why?
go
Because she's
and make a
struggling
ruling
just
on
like
this.
you.
I'm going to determine how this refund should be divided. I'll be back.
Okay.
Court will be at recess.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict. And an update on the case of Audra Snow versus Travis Shelby.
My mother didn't agree with her stripping, Your Honor.
And that's not the real reason why this marriage is ending, no way.
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce Court is back in the case of Jennifer Azevedo Black versus Don Black, as the judge is about to rule on their fight over a tax refund.
Come to order. Court is back in session.
We're back in the matter of Don Black versus Jennifer Azevedo Black. The court has carefully considered the income tax refund issue for the 98 taxable year during the time the parties were married. While Mr. Black, you were correct on the law that 1/2 of the money earned during the marriage is community money, the money was not all earned during the marriage. The marriage was only 5 months out of the 12 months of the year, so the community money was only 5/12 earned during the year. So therefore, all of the tax refund was not community.
Okay.
Part of it was separate because it was from her earnings before marriage as well as your earnings before marriage. So therefore, the court has done the calculations and has determined that you are ordered to reimburse Mrs. Black $381 of the tax refund for that taxable year because that support obligation is your sole and separate obligation.
Okay.
That's the order of the court.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Audra Snow versus Travis Shelby.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for an escort service.
But he didn't want me to strip down.
Wait. Have you ever heard of the word hypocritical?
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? To appear before a real judge on a new court show, call 877-777-0099. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Travis Shelby said he left his wife Audra Snow because she would not stop working as a stripper.
It's your profession. It's your body. It's what you do. Do you have a problem with it?
No. And that's not the real reason why this marriage is ending, no way.
My mother didn't agree with her stripping, Your Honor.
He always listened to his mother.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for an escort service.
But he didn't want me to strip down.
Wait. Have you ever heard of the word hypocritical?
Audra said she loaned Travis $400 and he refused to pay her back. After hearing the evidence, the judge ordered Travis to pay Audra $200. In court, Travis said he did not believe he was the father of their daughter. but a paternity test proved that he is the father. But now Travis says Audra will not let him see their daughter, and he plans to fight for joint custody. He has also quit his job at the escort service at the judge's urging and hopes to be a better example for his daughter by opening up a daycare center with his mother. Audra wants Travis to give up his parental rights and says she is going back to college so she can provide a better future for her daughter without him.
I wanted a nice family and everything. I think his perspectives were a lot different than mine.
I'm a late bloomer, so hopefully I'll take this experience and chalk it up as a good learning experience and be okay.
I definitely will be very more cautious with any relationship that I'm in the future and make sure that this kind of thing doesn't happen.
If you're getting into a situation with someone, you have to be serious. Throw everything out on the table and be honest and open, and always live, love, and laugh.